Before Google search or truth or dare became a mainstream thing, people used other methods to extract information. But not everyone had the gift of subterfuge. Torture was a popular way of getting people to reveal information or confess to crimes which they sometimes did not commit, while impaling others or crucifying them or even laying them on a torture rack was pretty common in history. There have been other methods that are so screwed up that simply watching about them might make you shudder. No, seriously, if you are easily rattled, watching further might not be the best idea. But for those who are still interested, here's a list of top 10 most gruesome tortures in the history of human mankind. Hey guys, this is Arpit and you are watching my top 10. Do suggest me more topics so that I can make more videos. Do like, share and subscribe my channel. Don't forget to hit the bell icon. 10th is scaphism. For sheer, delirious, nauseating horror, scaphism may be one of the worst execution methods ever devised. Practiced by the ancient Persians starting around 500 BC, it saw the victim placed inside a hollowed out log or narrow boat, their hands and feet tied to each hand. The victim was then forced to ingest a mixture of milk and honey until they uncontrollably voided their bowels, at which point their skin was smeared with more milk and honey before they were left exposed in the sun and surrounded by their own feces and vomit. It was at this point that the insects would descend, stinging and biting insects like wasps and ants would torture the victim, but first others would crawl inside the unprotected orifices of the subject and lay eggs, eating them alive from the inside out. With the ratio of milk and honey, and sometimes water, repeated at daily intervals, the victim had little chance of dying of thirst and hunger. Instead, they succumbed to tortured madness, experiencing the agonizing nightmare crawl of thousands of insects on their skin, burrowing into their eyes and ears and nose, filling their mouths while worms and parasites bred in the filth at the bottom of the boat and skimmed up into their bowels. Death would eventually be caused by a combination of exposure and the massive infections caused by both the insects and the fecal matter smeared into the wounds. One account of such an execution by the Greek historian Plutarch claimed that it took the victim 17 whole days to die. 9. Bamboo torture. I have always associated with bamboos with pandas in a very cute and adorable way. I mean, come on, look at this guy. So much stealth. But then I read about bamboo torture. Before anything else, one should realize that the power of growing bamboo. A bamboo can grow immensely fast. We are talking multiple feet in a single day. And it is strong, like really strong. Here's some bamboo growing out of the asphalt. It pierced the freaking concrete. It is said that this technique was employed by the Japanese during World War II on prisoners of war. Apparently, US officers who survived the POW camps later recounted the matter of torture. Although this theory has not yet been confirmed yet, there is a huge possibility that it may have really been used. What did they really do in bamboo torture? They would basically tie down a soldier horizontally, facing upward, overgrowing bamboo shoots. The sharpened shoots would then start growing and impale the back of the person, slowly and very much painfully. So, it would start piercing through the body and finally come out of the other side. Eventually, there would be multiple shoots coming out of different parts of the body. Death would be inevitable, but slow making it all time the more painful. It was like falling on a bed of nails. Never thought bamboo could be used for something so horrific. 8. Fear of anguish. People have applied their imagination to inflicting pain in new, horrifying ways for thousands of years. But sometimes, when it comes to torture, reality and fantasy can get mixed up. In fact, many of the most famous torture devices from history actually seem to have only seen use in our collective imagination. The Iron Maiden, for instance, was probably nothing but a hoax dreamed up by someone who knew that the more disturbing a torture device is, the more people will pay money to see it. But few torture devices, real or imaginary, are disturbing as the fear of anguish. Imagine a lump of cold metal being slowly forced into your anus. It's shaped like a pear, with a bulbous head on one end and a narrower stem on the other. And attached to the stem is a screw. Your torturer now asks for information, a confession, or whatever it is he wants to get out of you. You see, as he turns the screw, the head of the pear begins to expand. The metal presses against the walls of your rectum. The pressure begins to build, and it feels like the metal is going to rip through the delicate tissue. And in fact, it might. But the goal is not to puncture the flesh, which could quickly lead to fatal bleeding. Instead, the pear is meant to stretch the anus as far as possible. As it stretches and rips the skin, it overloads the sensitive nerve endings and produces searing agony. How long could you hold up under such an interrogation? Minutes? Seconds? It's hard to imagine a more effective way to torture someone, considering that it's easy to see how the peer might have been used frequently during the days when torture was a vital part of the justice system. But surprisingly, that doesn't seem to be the case. The peer probably didn't exist before the 70th century, at the earliest, or at least nor in the way we imagine it. 7 is flaying. Flaying, better known as skinning alive, has a long and caustic history. Records of the practice exist as far back as the New Assyrian Empire, beginning in 911 BC, but it has cropped up in most civilizations at one time or another, including medieval Europe, where it tended to be used as a punishment for traitors, and in the ritual human sacrifices made by the Aztecs in Mexico. The Aztecs, at least, are believed to have skinned the body after the sacrifice had been made. Various techniques have been utilized in the many different cultures in which flaying has been employed, but the basis remains the same: slowly, excruciatingly slicing the skin from the body while keeping the victim alive for as long as possible, and when feasible, removing the skin intact. Carvings from the Assyrian period show the process beginning with incisions to the thighs or buttocks, while the European method shows it starting the skin being torn from the feet and lower legs. Chinese emperors Sun Hao, Fu Sheng, and Gao Heng ordered the skin to be peeled from their victims' faces. That would be normally come as a result of massive blood loss and shock. But in the unfortunate cases where expert flayers were used, the victim could be kept alive in a state of perpetual agony for several days before finally succumbing to their hopelessly infected wounds. Sixth is rat torture, as recently depicted in Game of Thrones. Rat torture is a method ingenious in its disgusting simplicity. In its most basic form, a bucket containing live rats is placed on the exposed torso of the victim and heat applied to the base of the bucket. The rats, crazy with fear from the heat, tear and gnaw their way into the abdomen of the victim, clawing and ripping through skin, flesh, organs, and intestines in their quest to escape. Possessing the most powerful biting and chewing motion of any rodent, rats are able to make short work of a human stomach. Along with the unimaginable pain, the victim would also suffer the sick horror of feeling the large filthy creatures writhing around inside their guts as they died. While associated with Elizabethan England, where the Tower of London was said to have housed a dungeon of rats, a pitch black room below high water mark that would draw in rats from the river Thames to torment the room's inhabitants. The practice has been used for more recently. General Pinochet is said to have employed the technique during his dictatorship of Chile from 1973 to 1990, while reports from Argentina during the national reorganization process in the late 1970s and early 80s claims victims were subjected to a version in which live rats or sometimes spiders were inserted into the subject's body via a tube in the rectum or vagina. Number 5 is the Roman candle. Many of the very worst execution methods ever devised involve fire, from burning witches at the stake in medieval Britain to roasting criminals alive in the searing metal insides of the Bajan bull in ancient Greece. But few match the sheer lack of humanity as the Roman candle, a rumored favorite of the mad Roman Emperor Nero. This method saw the subject tied to a stake and smeared with flammable pitch, tree or plant resin, then set ablaze slowly burning to death from the feet up. What sets this above the many other similar methods is the fact that the victims were sometimes lined up outside to provide the lightning for one of the Nero's evening parties. Number 4 is keel hauling. Walking the plank might not be the most pleasant of deaths, but it seems moderately more humane than the other favored maritime punishment of keel hauling, a punishment that often ended in death due to the severity of the wounds sustained or was simply carried out until the point of death. It saw the victim legs weighted and suspended from a rope underwater along the length of the hull and over the keel, the beam that runs longitudinally down the center of the underside of the ship. Hence the name to the stern. In the age of wooden sailing ships, the hull of a vessel would normally be coated in a thick layer of barnacles whose shells could be rock hard and razor sharp. As the drowning sailor was yanked relentlessly through the salt water, these protrusions would strip the skin from his body, gouging out raw chunks of flesh, and even by some accounts, tearing off whole limbs or severing the head. If the sailor was still alive, they might be hung from the mast of 15 minutes before going in again. In some cases, the victim would have an oil soaked sponge containing a breath of air stuffed into their mouth to prevent a merciful drowning. Employed mostly by the Dutch and French from the 1500s until it was abolished in 1853. Accounts of its use date as far as Greece in 800 BC. third is impalement, most famously used by Vlad the Impaler, 15th century ruler of Wallachia in present day Romania, and inspiration for Count Dracula. The act of impalement has a long, grim history, while images tend to depict people skewered through the midsection and then held aloft in a manner that would almost certainly bring about a rapid death. The real process was a much longer, horrifically drawn out ordeal. Traditionally, the stake would be partially sharpened and planted point up in the ground. The victim would then be placed over the spike as it was inserted partway into the rectum or vagina. As their whole body weight dragged them further onto the pole, the semi greased wooden stake would force its way up through their body, piercing organs with an agonizing slowness as it eventually penetrated the entire torso, finally tearing an exit wound through the skin of the shoulder, neck, or throat. The earliest records of the torture come from 1772 BC in Babylon, where King Hammurabi ordered a woman be executed in this way for killing her husband. But its use continued until as recently as the 20th century when the Ottoman government employed the technique during the American genocide of 1915 to 1923. According to some accounts, it could take the victim exposed, bleeding, and writhing in tormented agony as long as 8 whole days to die. Number second is the blood eagle, a technique ascribed to ancient Norse warriors. The blood eagle mixed brutality and poetic imagery in way that only the Vikings could. First, the victim's back would be hacked open and the skin ripped apart, exposing the spinal column. The ribs would then be snapped from the spine and forcibly bent backwards until they faced outwards from the body, forming a pair of bloody shattered eagle's wings. As a horrifying finale, the lungs would then be pulled from the body cavity and coated with stinging salt, causing eventual death by suffocation. There is some question as to whether this technique was ever actually used, as the only accounts come from Norse literature. Several scholars claim that the act we know of today is simply a result of poor translating and misunderstands. The strong association of the eagle with blood and death in Norse imaginary. That said, every account is consistent in that in each case the victim is nobleman being punished for murdering his father. The good news for any poor soul who might have suffered this indignity. The agony and blood loss from the initial wounds would probably have caused them to pass out long before the lungs were removed from their bodies. And the number first is boiling to death. A slow and agonizing punishment. This method traditionally saw the victim gradually lowered first feet into boiling oil water or wax, although uses of boiling wine and molten lead have also been recorded. If the shock of the pain did not render them immediately unconscious, the person would experience the excruciating sensation of their outer layers of skin, utterly destroyed by immersion burns, dissolving right off their body, followed by the complete breakdown of the fatty tissue boiling away beneath. It seems safe to assume that such a horrendous fate, one of the worst execution methods ever devised, would be reserved for the foulest of murderers, but historical documents refute this. Emperor Nero is said to have dispatched thousands of Christians in this manner, while in the Middle Ages the main recipients of the punishment were not killers or rapists, but coin forgers, particularly in Germany and the Holy Roman Empire. In Britain, Meanwhile, King Henry VIII introduced the practice for executing those who used poison to commit murder. Shockingly, the practice is believed to have been carried out as recently as 2002 when the government of Uzbekistan, led by Islam Karimov, was alleged to have tortured several suspected terrorists to death in this manner. At last, be entertained, be safe. Thanks for watching this video.
We've been dancing for so long under the stars. I feel as the grass